A while back, somebody left a comment on my video, Keeper of the Home, and all it read was, in all caps, but the Proverbs 31 woman had servants. I imagine the person thought they were making a solid point that they didn't think I had thought of before. Well, they were wrong. But just a couple of weeks after that, I heard somebody suggest women can't be all the Proverbs 31 woman was because it's impossible. If it was impossible, my channel here, Mountain Mama's Home, would not exist. If it was not possible, I would not personally know Proverbs 31 women. Friends, I'm here to tell you, I believe it is possible, but it will look a little different. After all, we don't live in ancient times. For example, today we have washing machines to do our laundry in. Today's video, I am making a cheap but flavor-packed dinner for my family on a stormy, crazy spring afternoon. While I do that, we're going to discuss if and how it's possible to be a Proverbs 31 woman in today's day and time. Grocery prices are crazy right now, and if you guys are anything like our family, you're looking for all kinds of ways to save money but still enjoy the food you eat. The food that I'm going to be cooking today is one of the really great ways to cook affordable, very cheap food that packs a punch. For your convenience, I will be breaking down each one of these recipes separately and putting them on the new channel for you. And I will try to get them on the blog as well. That might take a little more time. If you're not familiar with the new channel, it's Mountain Mama's Home Kitchen, dedicated solely to recipes, individual recipes. Most of them are very short. I will link to my new channel in the description box below. Let me ask, what kind of God would give us a beautiful example of a noble, good, hardworking woman like he does in Proverbs 31? And why would he give us commands like in Titus 2 for women of young children to be keepers at home and then make it an impossible job? Our God is not a jokester. He doesn't prank us. He's a just God, and his word is true. I can think of 3 reasons, however, that would make it impossible for us to live by his word. The first one is if we are making poor choices that make living by the word impossible. When I say we, I am speaking of more than one generation creating situations over lifetimes. I'm also speaking of individual personal choices. The second is if we simply don't know how to live by the word. If you don't know how to do something, it would be impossible until you learned how. Lastly, is if we are living under tyrannical oppression, that is making it impossible. Okay, some will say that having a spouse that isn't walking with the Lord would also make it impossible. And I agree, but I would categorize this under the making poor choices or living under tyrannical oppression, which I just mentioned, which is a whole new subject that would require a whole video of its own. So I won't touch on that today other than to say that if that is the case for you, I do hope you are seeking help and support. But let's explore the 3 reasons I gave a little bit more. The first one, poor choices. In Titus 2, women with young children are commanded to be keepers at home. Society, on the other hand, commands women to have a career outside of the home. Also in Titus 2, older women were commanded to teach the younger women. Society commands older women to pursue careers for 40 or 50 years and spend the remaining years living it up. When society becomes set up a certain way, kind of becomes a machine that chews you up and spits you out if you try to go a different direction and don't conform. Today we have young women that want children someday get swept up and tied up pursuing expensive college educations for a career And all too often, they find themselves a few years later as a stay-at-home mom with a couple of kids, 0 homemaking skills, 0 childcare skills, and college debt. And they're living in a rundown rental in a neighborhood, or worse, an apartment. Since this is a choice millions of women have been making for generations, Proverbs 31 women and Titus 2 women's skills have not been being built or passed down, but rather forgotten. Many of the older generations don't have Proverbs 31 or Titus 2 women's skills, so there are few places for the younger women to turn to. You can't get water from a dry well. Skills such as frugal living, homemaking, scratch cooking to save money, growing gardens and preserving food, and industrious jobs that women can do from home, all of these things, they've been lost through the years while families live on fast food, sports, entertainment, and pre-made meals, among other things that essentially waste our time. This brings us to today, where women reading about the Proverbs 31 woman do get overwhelmed just at the chapter. We need to be fair in our analysis, though. Last month, my husband and I met with a financial expert. We were hoping to make some kind of a plan to start saving for retirement. The financial advisor pointed out that the rate of inflation has been far exceeding wages for quite some time now, and it is the worst it's been. Boomers love to say that it was this way for them, and blame all of the younger generation's problems on avocado toast. But if you look at economic history records, you will see that this is a lie. It is actually much harder for families today. Over the last few years, I've been wondering what is going on. We grew up believing that hard work will get us ahead. It used to be where families could live on one income. But no matter how hard my husband and I both work, we barely get by, and what extra that should go into retirement eggs go into taxes instead. It's kind of a dismal time to live in financially. I have freaked out before thinking that maybe God's favor isn't upon us, but then my husband points out other good Christian people who love the Lord who are way worse off than us. I believe we are living in an oppressive time in history. We know Satan hates families and children, and he is making it harder on them. And I hate to sound like a broken record about food again, but another problem women are faced with today is, after abandoning wholesome, nutritious meals and opting for takeout, pre-made packaged food, all full of unhealthy ingredients for generations, we have a couple generations of women, well, men and children too, who are faced with a plethora of health problems, leaving them sick and tired. Our medical system is of so little help to those suffering with chronic illnesses that result. Amidst all of this, I do believe that God can make a way, and I have seen him do so. Today, we need God's protection and healing just to be able to live according to his word. Only with the Lord can we make it back to being Proverbs 31 and Titus 2 women, and get back to a more peaceful, wholesome way of living. I am here to tell you that there are those of us who are doing this. It maybe hasn't been easy, but there are those doing this and making a path. It is possible, but it takes time, faith, and a lot of hard work. The first thing, however, is one has to want it. No woman is going to become a Proverbs 31 woman if she doesn't want to. It requires too much work and too many leaps of faith. This is what throws women. It takes faith to live by the word of God. If you are making the choice to stay home, live on one income, this will take faith, sacrifice, self-control, and a lot of frugal living and hard work. It also takes God's mercy and protection. Being a Proverbs 31 woman and a Titus 2 woman for one's family in this day and age requires God's protection. And yes, it's a lot of hard work, but it is also a gift that we need the Lord's blessing in. And in order to receive a gift from the Lord and see it as a gift, our hearts must be open to it. So how to become a Proverbs 31 woman today? The first step is to pray and seek the Lord's guidance. John 15:5 reads, I am the vine, you are the branches. If you remain in me and I in you, you will bear much fruit. Apart from me, you can do nothing. The second thing to know is that the Proverbs 31 woman is a picture of a woman who had experience. If you're just getting started in your journey, it's going to take time to build skills. It won't happen overnight. If you're stuck in a job that you need to be working, for example, it may take time to create a Proverbs 31 and Titus 2 woman life. The third thing you need to know is that the Proverbs 31 woman was not doing all of the things at the same time. It's very unlikely that she was running her thriving business and selling her goods in the marketplace while she was 9 months pregnant, or while she had little infants and needy small children in training. It is possible, since she did have servants. However, women can do many of these things today as well. We just may need to wait a while until the kids are older. But just because we may have to wait doesn't mean we're not Proverbs 31 women. Seasons come and go. The seasons of having young children come and go, and there are times to be other things. So we might be looking at a picture of a woman's life as a whole. So with the Proverbs 31 woman, we're looking at a woman who had built a life over time and was experiencing and had experienced many seasons. For example, as your children grow, there will be time for other things, even a career. There were very likely different seasons in the Proverbs 31 woman's life, just as there are different seasons in our life.
I can see you far and wide across the ocean, above the clouds. In your presence I am free. I hear your whisper through the wind.
In conclusion, it is true. The Proverbs 31 woman did have servants. But women today have smartphones, washing machines, clothes dryers, dishwashers, refrigerators, vacuums, homes like we have, toilets, vehicles running water, hot water, bathrooms, and a plethora of other appliances and devices to make our jobs incomparably easier compared to women living in ancient times. To say they had it easier is a rather silly statement. I like to look at returning to God's way of doing things as a Proverbs 31 and Titus 2 woman as a healing. Healing is sometimes swift, but often it's not. It's not linear. It takes work and dedication. I do believe, however, that God did give us an outline of how to have stronger, healthier, and happier families through the Proverbs 31 woman verses and Titus 2. And I believe the more we're able to work on and build those skills, the better off we will be as women and our families will be. I do hope that this video has helped you to see Proverbs 31 and Titus 2 in a new and hope-filled light.
I can feel you in the sunlight and through the cold nights. When I close my eyes, I am walking, oh Lord, beneath the starlight, a love so pure. Now, there's no place that I would rather be. So let this moment last. I've searched myself, I've tried to figure